Hi, welcome to Rider's Mind Burning Question of the Week. And this week it's a long-term challenge that a friend of mine's had with her horse, always carrying weight, but not just all over weight in patches. And if you've ever heard of insulin resistance or horses that are suffering from metabolic syndrome and so forth, then you probably will have seen this cresty neck, often fat pads over the top of the tail, sometimes around the girth, and various bits and pieces. And over the years, she's tried lots and lots of different things to try and help release this weight. It's really not serving the horse at all and not serving their riding relationship. And when I hopped in there, it was a rather curious thing because he showed some physical stuff for a while. And then he showed that at some stage in his life, he went into what I would call gasp reflex. You know when you get a fright at something and you go, and you don't actually exhale again. And what this had done in his body is created a tension from really in the lung area that he was only breathing into a small portion of his lungs. And when we're only breathing into a small portion of our lungs, we're almost constantly in flight mode. And we're always in a state where we're adrenalized. So we feel as if we're always under threat. And when we're under threat, one of the things that we want to do is hold on to our resources so we can use them to live through this time. And if you've read any books around starvation metabolism and various things, they do talk about this. But what had happened is this gasp reflex had actually come from when he was gelded. The pain or the physical pain and the emotional pain of going through this, he had kind of stayed stuck in this place. And with that had come kind of, well, if you want to think of it as buffering himself from the world, that's kind of what he was doing with the holding on to the extra weight there. And he'd also disengaged his awareness pretty much from the back half of his body. It had been very painful and it had given him a lot of trauma. So he'd kind of disowned his back end. And when you saw him move, you could see that that was the case. He wasn't pushing through actively with the hind. He wasn't engaging his abs and really lifting his front end to use his beautiful, beautiful, powerful back end. And when I worked through this with him a bit and asked whether I could release some of the healing, it was almost like there was an energy mass sitting in his abdomen there. And this mass was pulling tight, almost guy rope threads into his sacrum, and also through his hind legs and various bits and pieces and under the saddle and so forth. But the strongest one was in his sacrum, and you could see the sacrum bones sitting there, and they were kind of being crunched down by the effect of this energy mass sort of holding this tension within his body. So when we released that, he was able to adjust on the horizontal plane, but also on the vertical plane. It was twisting the sacrum as well. And I'm really looking forward to hearing how he's got on with that, because it'll take his body a little while to settle into the change. He really was quite skeptical about breathing and the safety of breathing into the back half of his body, and encouraging him to use those lungs more fully to reset his nervous system, but also reset his physical system as well. So thanks very much for that opportunity to have a wee look into the combination between the physical and the emotional in his life, because it's had a large impact for a number of years on his ability to have fun in this world with his owner, who loves him very, very much. So I'm Suze from Rider's Mind, and at Rider's Mind we are most interested in creating peak connectability rather than peak individual performance, because at the end of the day, riding is not an individual sport, it's a team sport. And when we can be as connectable as possible, then our horses can show us really what they want to show us and guide us to a relationship that is mutually fabulous, so mutually enriching for both of us. So thanks very much. Cheers. Bye.